Hey guys. Oh, there we go. I was waiting for my familiar faces to come in. For the fellow cameramen, I'll be moving around, so hope that's fine. If it's not recording me, it's fine, because there might be something controversial, there might be something that would be a wrong influence. I wouldn't want to do that. Right? Any more familiar faces coming in? So, with the title that goes, Story of a Developer Who Does Not Have a Degree, how does it sound like? Now, how many of you do find it inspirational? I mean, you haven't heard the story yet, but you can make a wild guess, okay? So here's how it's gonna go, right? I don't have a PPT, I'm not a PPT guy. Does anyone like to see PPTs? And then just explain from it? I'm not that, I'm sorry. So we'll do something unconventional, but since you guys would like to come along with this journey, you could just, if I could find it, yeah. You can scan this. So it will open up this exact same page, right? But then I forgot about the part where you guys could just see the whole journey right away. So, anyways, let me know once you've all scanned it, and then we'll begin. Right? All good? No? Are you guys able to open Excalibur? Yes? Yes? Over there? Yes? Okay, cool. Let me be, I'll have to move things in the laptop. So how many of you are expecting a tech talk here? Like something related to tech? Because it's end of the day, guys, come on. We need some energy boosters. And I'm a tech person, but I can't be doing tech right now. Even I've run out of energy because I was just switching my roles from organizer to speaker and then a whole lot of stuff. So let's begin. Read the disclaimer first, okay? The disclaimer is important. This is not targeting anything or anyone, okay? This will sound like it's very targeted, but it's not. For my own safekeep, right? If I leave this campus today, I need to be alive, I gotta do this. But yeah, if you've opened this link, follow with me, right? So who am I? A 26-year-old, I shouldn't have revealed the age probably. That's fine. Professional Android engineer. If you zoom into it, it's written, idu na sollala, company solludhu, okay? The reason is because, quick gist into that, it's a European company, so I work for Solaris SE, so it's a fintech company based out of Berlin. They don't have this thing called SD1, SD2, SD3, and blah, blah. So they have something called junior developer, professional engineer, senior engineer, staff, principal architect, yada, yada, yada. So I fall in SD2, maybe, as per Indian norms. So that's what it is. Qualifications. How many of you think what degree I did? Let's take wild guesses. I mean, no degree, yeah, that's the whole point of the talk, but I still did go for college. I still did go to college. So there'll be a lot of twists and turns, you'll know. I mean, it's a 30-minute talk, but I'll make sure that it's really interesting for you guys, okay? But before I begin, I want to know how many working professionals are here. Okay? Okay, so how long have you been working? 7 years. It may be opinionated, so hold on to me, right? Any other working professionals? You guys are working professionals. Okay, awesome, awesome. But it wouldn't be anything of a bad influence, don't worry guys. I hope a lot of these things are relatable to the students. Students, please raise your hands. Oh, okay. But anyways, so as it's written there, I did go through the turmoil of BE CSE. For anyone who doesn't know, it's Bachelor of Engineering Computer Science. I did go through it for 4 years, okay? But I still don't have a degree. How, right? I'll come to that. So if you guys click on that YouTube link, it'll play an audio which is very relatable to me right now, okay? Don't play it loud, it's okay. So this is again a very new thing. A fun fact, I have never done this before, okay? So if anyone knows, any of my relatives or mom or anyone, nobody knows this, but this is the first time I'm publicly revealing this. Just so that it could be a new step into learning, right? Educational reforms. அந்த மாதிரி பெரிய பெரிய வார்த்தை சொல்லிட்டு நீ வந்து கிளம்பிடுவியா அந்த மாதிரியும் யோசிக்கக்கூடாது பட் yeah, I hope that you might find some inspiration. So let's begin. So I did do BE Computer Science. The real storytelling starts here. Oh, the college life. I miss it so much. Just kidding. Does anyone recognize this building? Where? How many of you know Wales? No, I mean it's written, but how many of you know the Wales University personally? You guys, you know Wales? How? Oh, you're from Avadi? But Wales is too far from Avadi. That's okay, wait, Wales Tech or Wales? See, I knew it. Nobody would know Wales. I knew it. It's not Wales Tech. It's Wales University from Pallavaram. Then there's this one tiny kutti corner, okay? That's where this is. If you know Aishari Ganeshan, the producer, yeah, he's the one who owns this building, okay? Again, no target to anyone, right? So, have you guys had this experience where you get into the first year of college and then you're like, you know what, I'm going to have this notebooks and everything prepared, fully ready, like records and practicals, I'll do everything. Post first year, you lose that interest. I'm assuring you. I'm assuring you, right? Post first year, the notebooks will start filling in gaps. It's like, ma'am, I missed that class. Ma'am, can you rub the board and do it again? It's like, ma'am is like, hey, what the? So that's what happened to me. I'm not a very academic guy, okay? I'm not a very academic guy. But everybody have their own learning types. Do you agree? Everybody do have their own learning type. It's like the same saying. If one teacher can't teach all the subjects, then how do you expect one student to learn all the subjects, right? Yeah, it's a very relatable quote, at least for me. So that's how it is. And I realized around third year or fourth year, I realized that books were not meant for me, okay? Let me dive deep. Never get involved with hierarchy of higher authorities. I'll explain this in a bit. We need to get into context. But, okay, chapter 1. I did my graduation. Okay, let's say I did my graduation. There were examinations. I did the examinations, 4 years. I did write all the exams. What do you think would have gone wrong? I'm placed? I didn't get placed. Okay, one good guess. Evaluation isn't? The marks wasn't good? Backlogs? Shh. Anybody else? Suspension. Do I make you feel like I am that kind of a guy who will be very much into causing harm? No, not suspension. Anybody else? Any wild guesses? No? TGPA? Evaluation, yeah. Something related to that. So, I had arrears, guys. Very bold of me to be opening up on this, right? Oh, this is why he assisted me to bring me all the way here. I knew this was gonna come up. Okay, I'll tell you. But you guys guess the subjects. So I had arrears. Oh, what am I even doing here? They're just revealing the answers. Yes. So there are 8 semesters in 4 years. Okay. So basically you have like 8 maths paper. Okay. 8 maths paper. Dealing with numbers and alphabets only, but 8, okay? Out of 8, I lost. How did 12 come up from? Where did 12 come up from? So there are 8, right? I have 6 arrears. Now you do the math because I'm bad at it, right? So I had 6 arrears and all of them were actually maths. Now don't ask me if it was M1, M2 or M3 because, exactly. But chapter 2, we'll go to it soon. It's not yet there. So, arrears, right? 6 arrears. Now, someone spoke about placement. Was it you? Yeah. What do you think would be the issue with placement, with that kind of amazing academic performance? So the college people, so the college people were like, you have very low CGPA. You have arrears. You can't be sitting for placements. If you have companies like Wipro, Accenture. Hey, if anyone is working in Wipro or Accenture, no offense to you guys. No offense. Those are all good companies, but they just denied me from getting into those companies. Otherwise, I would be sitting with one of you guys who is from Wipro or Accenture or any other companies. But yeah, TCS and what? Google. Where's Otherwise, I would have said Amazon as well, no? But no, yeah. So placement cell denied my admission into one of the placements, obviously, right? Placement cell sent a letter to the department. The best part of Wales University that I've ever had is the amazing support that the department gave me. Because it's only the department that knew what I was capable of. I'll come to that in a bit. So that's there. I was denied about placements. Then I couldn't do it, right? So everybody got placed. Even the lowest scoring guy who can't put up one single sentence together is like, Macha, I got placed in Wipro da. I'm like, good for you. And then the department HOD will call me and then she'll be like, your marks are above 8 and 9 CGPA in everything else except maths. Are you on purpose doing this? I'm like, yeah, right, arrears is so much fun. I would, on purpose, I'll just like, ma'am, I can't do maths, okay. Otherwise, just give me any paper, I'll do it and then I'll leave. But yeah, maths wasn't my thing. Ever since school time. School, I got to just pass, okay? But who cares? So, qualifications. Now the problem, what is the problem if you have arrear and then you want to look for a job? Anyone?
You're not eligible to apply.
Exactly, right? Do we have any HRs here? Please don't say yes. They'll be like, direct rejection. But yeah, you're right. Eligibility, they have a criteria, right? And the criteria is so standardized and so linear that it's only focused on marks. But then there is another saying that marks don't matter and whatever, yada, yada. So I'm reminding you guys, I'm not being a bad influence. Hear my story fully and then you guys be the judge of it, okay? So that happened with placement cell. Now you might be wondering, why arrear in maths? Why couldn't you just study and then get good marks, right? It's like the most obvious thing. Why don't you just study? Why do you want to spend time in it? Now that's where college's main part came in, is that, so you guys know this internship run? Like people running around for internships, right? How many of you like pay and buy your certificate? Yeah, see? How many of you, just raise your hands, it's okay. I'm opening up so much. You guys could raise your hand and then just admit that you pay and get your internships. Like it's very, very common, right? Even your own college people, the staff themselves would tell you that, okay, you know what, go for this. Because all of these, right, your marks, your internships and everything is basically just part of an audit system, which is very rigged. The audit system is very rigged. The same audit system comes to every eligibility criteria as well. Everybody looks for this criteria because of this audit system, because one of the other head, the parent head, expects on what basis do you give him this, or on what basis did you give him that. So I'll come to the part where I cracked that, okay? That's the interesting part. So this is what happened. Now, the reason why I couldn't get good marks and then pass is because I went for internships. I did several government projects, like there is this NIWE, National Institute of Wind Energy, and then I collaborated with my seniors because seniors weren't capable of creating the apps, which was very bad. It does not give a good name to the university itself, so the department was like, you're the only one who can save us. Like, no, not really, but sure, I can give it a try. So that's how it went. contracts. I started doing freelancing. How many freelancers do we have here? Do we have any freelancer? We have a freelancer. Amazing, sir. You're a freelancer as well? What do you do? Full stack. Flutter. Oh. I love Flutter. But that's for another talk. So this talk, freelancers, amazing. So freelancers would know the struggle of finding a project and keeping that client held on, because that's the only payment medium, right? Yeah, it was very relatable to me. So I signed up in every freelancing sites. Now here's the thing: when you don't have a degree or you don't have a qualification to back you up, you need to have skills. Okay, so that's exactly where I try to invest my whole energy into, because my marks is not going to get me a job, my qualification is not going to get me a job. I don't have any recommendation or anything. And then there is my mom who's telling that marks illana ponnu kedikadra. Real life problems. Okay. So how did I do my upskilling? If you want to know all the contributions or anything I did, you can Google my name. Like seriously, that's my best flex. Okay. Try Googling my name, just search Trishiraj with no space. It's Trishiraj. And the entire Google page will show you everything I've ever done. You can go to my LinkedIn, you can go to my GitHub and everything. So, when and how did I accomplish this? So, how much time does it take for anyone to do masters? 2 years, right? Now, I can't do masters either. So much fun, right? I can't do masters either, because masters, they will do this cross verification. They will be like, did you complete your UG? I'm like, I completed 4 years, if that's enough. But it's not enough. They need the qualification, so I couldn't do masters. I wanted to do M.Tech, but I couldn't. I wanted to do master in applications and everything. I couldn't. So I took those 2 years and started building real life applications. I was very much focused into Android. So I started building my own Android firmwares. I started shipping them for, does anyone have heard the term custom ROMs? Awesome. Finally. So I used to make my own custom ROMs. You might have heard about Lineage OS and everything. So I was the founder of Corvus OS. I don't know if you've heard of it. You have? Yeah. So you've used it. Awesome. Thank you. Someone who's used my ROM. Okay. And that's where it started. I didn't start directly as an app developer. I started creating firmwares. Now, the thing about firmware is that, have you ever tried this thing where you just clone a repository, any open source repository that's relatable to you, and then you change the string and then call it a day? It's like, this is now my app. The app name is called display settings or whatever. Now I've named it as audio settings. Now it's my app, right? So that is how it began in firmware as well. So when you open up your app, right? When you open up your phone, when you scroll through everything, it's basically just apps, okay? I'll give you a quick hint on it, just so that you guys are aware of it. If you go to, how many Android users? Oh, others are all high club. But yeah, in Android apps, if you go to settings and then apps, all apps, and then you have that drop down where you enable the system apps. When you scroll through the apps, you search for something called System UI. That is also an app that consists of your lock screen, your control panel, and everything. So Android is basically just an ecosystem of apps put together. So I understood this part, right? So I made my firmware, and then I started selling my firmware. That is how I got into it. Now, oh, we've come to chapter 2, by the way. Yeah, how did I build myself? Where do I stand now? Welcome to it. So, I knew that I had to upskill my Android knowledge, and that's what I've been doing. And yeah, I sort of was successful enough in it, but I'm still learning. So, here's the thing. We're gonna do a quick little mock interview, okay? Where someone is going to be me, and I'll be an HR. Who's up for it? Not yet. Not yet. Anybody else? Any other? You're a very familiar face, but I'll have you. Don't worry. Anyone else who's up for it? And then we can reverse the roles. You can be the HR, and I'll be the normal student that I am. If nobody's going to show up, you want to show up? Awesome. Come up here. What's your name? Praveen. One big round of applause for Praveen, please. No, it's fine, it's fine. We'll share the mic. Okay, before we get started, Praveen, right? I'll just give a quick intro into this whole HR situation, okay? So now I needed jobs. I needed to get into a company. I was desperate that I need to start earning money, okay? Because single child, single mom, no sympathy and all, okay? Just saying the facts. So single mom, single child needs to back up family and everything, all those responsibilities and whatever yada stuff comes in. So I had to be really consistent in at least one thing. If it wasn't for academics, it should be for the skills, okay? So how did I do it? Now, I did have a lot of rejections, okay? My past companies, let's say I've jumped around 4 to 5 companies. Working professionals, do you think jumping around 4 to 5 companies is a healthy sign? It is? Awesome! Any other working professional? No, it's not. It's okay. I respect your opinion. What do you think? It's a risk. It's a very huge risk, right? But jumping 4 to 5 companies. Why do you think one would actually jump another company?
They think like it is a peaceful environment. Yeah. Work culture. Yeah.
Okay. So that could be the only reason. Pay hike. Yeah. Okay. Growth. That was the actual point I was focusing on, but then something else came into my mind, because you can't help it if you're laid off. So that's another thing. But it's amazing to hear that you've been a 7 years working professional, so it's amazing that you support that value. I like that. Because I'll tell you what, yes, if you don't have growth, a quick note, I always wanted to be a part of startup company, not an established company. Hey, you can actually sit. I'll call you. I feel so bad, sorry. Yeah. Why do you think I would want to be part of startup and not an established company? Like again, Wipro, Accenture, Amazon, Meta, Google, TCS.
Grow more in the startup.
Spot on, yeah. Because you get to see the whole growth of a product cycle. You get to be the part of a product life cycle, right? That's what you want. But if you get into Wipro, if you get into any service-based company, at least a product-based company is still fine. So, you respectable gentlemen, is it a product-based company or a service-based company? Product-based, amazing. Product-based, right? Why did you not choose a service-based company? Anything?
There's no job security there.
Exactly. Because you would want a particular role, and then you'll go for it, and then they'll be like, we don't have projects in that department yet. Can you just like shift to this and then a little bit help, and then they'll keep you there forever, right? That's another thing. That's another big reason why I don't want to get into established companies. Have you guys heard of this very terrible word called bond? Not James Bond, but bond, right? How many of you are under bond? You've been in the bond? No. Not that.
I know what is it, but college is technically bond.
Yeah, 4 years bond? Yeah, technically. But you pay for it, but a bond is like you pay them back, okay? That's not how bond works. So you didn't choose a company that has bond period in it, right? Okay. I did my mistake in that. I did a very bad mistake. But I'll tell you how my interview process went. So please come in here. Okay. I'll be the HR. Okay? You be me. Remember, you have no qualification. You have enough skills. Okay? Actually, this is what's relatable to you right now. How many of you know this meme? It's not a meme, it's a very real. Sell me this pen, right? So, let me teach you how I sold myself. Because I need to sell myself, otherwise I'm not getting it. So, okay. Praveen, so what's your qualification?
B in computer science.
Very nice. He's been noticing this, guys. This is amazing. Okay. What are you expecting from this company?
That I get good work to do rather than just sit around and just be in the meetings all the time.
Okay, so what's your CGPA to back up your qualification?
Definitely not up to your expectations.
By this time, how many of you think the HR have already dropped out? I have dropped out. I've been a dropout by this time, okay? But we'll still keep going, okay? So, Praveen, looking at your application, right? It seems like you've done a lot. But can you tell me, like, what are you fixated on? It seems like a lot of mess here. What is your interest? Like, what do you want to do? What do you want to become?
Android application developer. And the reason why there are too many things is because I explore. If I'm exploring, I'm learning.
That's good, that's good. But do you think we would want a learner?
Yeah, when the company expands, you just won't be on the same path, right? If a company is expanding, it is doing more things than it used to do. So you need a learner. Like, you need a person who's not just vertically stacked. You need both width and height.
So this is where the growth of a company that already has their product established stops. Because that's exactly why I don't go for established company, because their products are already there, okay? They bring you in, they'll make you fill in the Excel sheet. Honestly, because their product is already done, it's in maintenance mode. Unless and until, if it's a service-based company, you have a qualification in a particular tech stack or a skill, you can't go for it. Because they'll give you a project that is not even related to it. But if you get into a company that has already created a project, good luck with that, because you'll be filling Excel sheets. Right. So what do you think you bring to this company, Praveen?
Better skills than other employees.
How are you so sure about that? That's the confident line. I was like, oh, this guy sounds overconfident. Okay, how do you back that up?
You can look into what I've done. You can look at my PRs. You can see the repos the repos I've contributed into and how hard is it to get it pulled into the repository. So you can see my actual work rather than some project I would have copied from YouTube or something.
Awesome. So it was really nice talking to you, Praveen. I think we'll keep you posted on the job application, and then we'll let you know on your further career opportunities.
Rejected.
Yeah? That's not a rejection. So yeah, they'll keep you waiting. They won't say that you're rejected. They won't give you a mail or anything. Who said that? Yeah. We'll get back to you. All right. So thank you so much, Praveen. Again, another round of applause for going through this mock interview. Now I'll tell you how I cracked my interviews. All right. So same deal of questions, exact same questions. I was asked, what value do you bring to this company? And then I was like, so the first question was, what is your qualification? So I was like, for a moment, let's step back, not look into the qualification, but tell me what does your company need right now? And I'll fulfill your requirement. So if it's a startup company, here's another thing, right? They only care about getting their product done because it's a startup. They have investors around and they have a lot of people and stakeholders putting pressure on them, okay? They do want someone who can actually deal with this, but they don't, they just are very skeptical. So this is what happened. So they asked me about my qualification. I tried to keep it under the shadow. So I was like, let's not talk about qualification for a while. Just tell me what your company needs right now, and test me out by having a segment, a part of your own project or a product that you're trying to build, and I'll show you how I can maybe shift it to a new pace, or maybe craft some parts of it, right? So then they were still sticking to the question like, yeah, but what about the qualifications? We'll come to it. I was like, of course, we'll come to it. It's not the end of the day. We know that, so this is not what I told the HR, okay? But here's the mentality. Here's how the mindset works. So they know they need someone to build the product, and they know for a fact that if you are really capable, you're the one who will be building it for them. So they need you. As an employee, you should really be feeling very privileged and proud of yourself, because it's you that the companies need. It's not you guys that the company need. It's not the other way. So that's exactly what I wanted to prove, right? I didn't want them to be fixated on my qualification, because another thing, college students, okay. Anyone from IIT Madras itself? No? Okay, anyone from BECSE? Okay, which year? Oh, 24 pass out. Oh, so you did pass out, or you're yet to? April, right? Yeah. Okay, so you're in a job hunt. Yeah, you're working here. Oh, then you're not in a job hunt. Who's in a job hunt? Anyone in a job hunt? Nobody in a job hunt. Then I can't give that example. But here's how it works. So I wanted to prove them my skills. They gave me a part. So this coding round happens, right? Every company does coding round. What is the most hated thing about coding round? DSA. So you love DSA? Awesome. Thank you so much. I was scared. You both? No? DSA? Algorithm? I just love the name Digictor, but I have no idea how that works. Okay? So, algorithms. I can't. Now here's the thing. Even if there's algorithms, right? Unless your applications are really based upon one algorithm, you don't build your products based on an algorithm. You just use an algorithm into the product. How many of you do think that algorithms are really put into use? I can give you a few use cases. Like, for instance, Swiggy, Zomato, Uber use multiple algorithms for their quickest, shortest distance and everything. So real-life algorithms are used. But to build an entire product, do you think the algorithms are actually necessary? Not that, but exactly, not that in the app side. But you do need to have a good, well-versed hand on the programming language that you're dealing with. Yes. Correct? You must. And I was half-baked in that as well. How amazing is that? So I started with Java, because how many of you are into Android here? And oh, now I need to think my words. So Android started with Java, right? So you've been dealing with since Eclipse days? So Android Studio itself, from JetBrains stuff. Okay. So it first started from Java, and then it switched to Kotlin and everything. So there is this learning curve, right? There is this steep learning curve. And the human mentality is like, we learn the easier part first, and then we'll deal with the complex part when it comes. How many times when you were building a product, is that until this product needs this exact feature or this exact implementation, I'm not going to learn about it? How many times did you think about it? So you like to stay up to date with whatever you're implementing. That's a good thing. But I'm talking about the learning curve. So unless you have a feature in that, so if your product needs that particular part of your app, do you actually learn it, or do you keep it until that product needs that specific part? You will learn it. Awesome. But I did. I didn't. So I was very bad with this MVVM architecture. I was not an architecture-driven engineer or a developer, so I was very bad at it. But then, you still need to sell yourself, right? So I made really super high-quality apps which had no architecture inside it. Now the problem only is that the interviews and the HR rounds and everything, they are not very well versed with coding and everything. Okay, in the coding round, the engineers will look into your repository. So do have one repository which has like really good base and everything and architecture and stuff. But yeah, you'll still get into it. So I cracked it that way. I completed the project for them. I cracked it that way, and then I got into it. Now here's the problem. I cracked the interview, and I was put as a web developer. So I went through all the turmoil to become a web developer. And web developer in a tech stack, that's... How many of you know about PHP? How painful is it? Is it painful? I mean, if you like PHP, then I appreciate it. It is old. It's like JavaScript is still fine with the boilerplate, right? So yeah, my tech stack was Laravel, AngularJS, and PHP. Three painful stuff. Three very painful stuff. And I had no idea about it. Now here's the thing. I joined this first company. The problem was the company, whoever recruited me, was part of the college's cousin or something. Okay? Part of cousin. So I said, Niva na unak placement tara. It's like he noticed the skills and everything because I've been contributing with projects on colleges. So it's like, you come to us, we'll give you the placement. So I'm like, I had no other option because I was desperate to get a job. I needed money. So it's like, okay, first job, how much will it be? So they told me they'll pay me like 25K monthly. Okay? But that's still not my first salary. Wait till I come to that part. So 25K per month, I'm like, yeah, super. For a fresher, I'm very happy about it. But these days, people get that in stipends and internship, okay? I wasn't that lucky. So this cousin guy got me into a company. I wouldn't reveal the company name because it's non-existent. It wasn't a registered company either. And there was only 2 developers, but they were convincing me that there are more developers, but you've been assigned for this project only. So you'll be only sitting on this project. So I was just doing that, right? So when I was doing that, it's the payslip month, the most exciting time, right? 25K, I'm like, okay, I should be seeing this amount of money in my wallet. And then I get 12K. 12K. Someone's pocket money is 12K these days. Like literally. Okay? 12K. Why 12K? Tax? 25K, who will cut tax, right? That's where, guys, you should be very aware of finance part because I didn't know anything about TDS or tax lab or anything. Okay? So whatever they tried to sell me in the payslip, I'll agree. It's like 75% TDS. Yeah, okay, I guess that's how the companies work. So I didn't research into it and then I gave it away. So my salary was 12K for 2 years. Now that's where the master's part came in. When I said that the master's part takes 2 years for you, I took 2 years to upskill, but this is not upskilling. Okay, this is not upskilling. I was stuck with this company for 2 years because here's the hard part. So we had examinations coming up. Okay, now these companies are MNCs, and we have 15 minutes. So these companies are MNCs. That's what they said. They are connected to MNCs, and yes, they were connected to MNCs. They were connected to a British company, and I was working for a British company. I was working for their project. I did their project and everything. Now, the hard part is that I wanted to leave the company. They, out of nowhere, made a mail saying that I signed a bond. Okay? So they give you this recruitment, like you're recruited on offer letter. They give you this offer letter. And then they modified it, saying that the line of this was there. The bond period was there. You just didn't read it. Now here's the thing, how they fooled me. Because they didn't give me the offer letter by mail. It was by hand. Hard copy. So it's like, cool. I have the hard copy for evidence, right? Like I can show it to someone and then I can claim it back. But then, I don't know if I have ADHD, I lost that. I lost the hard evidence that I had. So now I had to be stuck with the company for another year. So that's like first year I dealt with the company. I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. Next year, I told the company I want to leave. The company said there was a project coming up, and they said it's okay, you do the project. Don't worry about the examination. You can go and write it on the last day. We'll take care of giving you the project. And I believed it because it was a deemed to be university. I mean, it was a private university, and then they have their own rules and regulations and everything. They can make things happen. Okay. So I was very much into this trust thing. I was like, okay, let me trust you. So I went ahead with it. Now then, what happened was, when I said that I want to leave the company, they were like, yeah, you don't realize that your certificate is still on hold with us, right? I'm like, what do you mean? That's my certificate. They're like, the certificate is still on hold with us. I mean, if you're threatening us to leave or you're threatening us to leave the project or whatever, you're not going to get your certificate. That's what they said. I actually have audio recordings. I thought I'll put it all up and everything, but this is not a CPI cell, right? Let's keep it light. So that's what happened, okay? My first job. So anyone from college who's going to get into the first job, I'm actually giving you a life lesson. So don't make the mistakes I did. Yeah. So that happened. So I still dealt with it. I went through it. And then finally, the MNC that was actually attached to these people realized that they are not actually registered company. They are not authorized company. So that's when they left. And it took 2 years for the Britishers to realize that. I mean, they colonized India long back, but they took them 2 years to realize that it's not a registered company that they've been working with. I don't know how that works. But then, thankfully, it was them who told me that leave this company. They are working in a very fraudulent manner, so don't do this. So I'm like, okay, that's going to be bad, because that's going to put a very bad name. But I still took it up. I left the company and left my degree. So that's how I left my, it's not the end of the story yet, wait. So that's how I left my degree, because the college then found a loophole. Maths. You can't write stories, you can't create stories, you can't get step marks and stuff just like that. And if it's 6 subjects of arrears, 6 maths paper of arrears, can you imagine like trying to pass that? That's the loophole. So every single term, they ask me to give an arrear examination. I do show up, I write the arrear examination, and then I see my marks. I sent all the proof to the vice principal and everything, and they're like, give me your ID number, we'll take care of it, but nobody took anything care of. But then once I submitted it, I wrote the re-examinations. The first time re-examination fees was 9,000. I'm like, okay, I guess 6 subjects makes sense. Second time again, because I failed all of them again. No, I passed 3 examinations. So now there's only 3 arrear papers. So I was happy about it, like, okay, we are making progress. Then the college people found a loophole, because 3 examinations, I did all of them again. Now they were like 12,000 this time. I still gave. Third time, 18,000. I still give, in hopes that I'll get the degree. Finally, 4th time, they said 28,000. It was recent time, okay? It was this year. They said 28,000. That's the point where I decided that, yeah, maybe I don't really need a degree to get into a job, because I am part of a company, and the company knows about my history, and they've been happy about how I've been creating my project and how I've been dealing with side projects and open source projects and my contributions and everything. So this is the sparkling point for me, which made me wonder that again, maybe other company wouldn't even take me in. I mean, what's your company, sir? Do you think they'll take me in? Do you think I can just mentally crack them down by saying that I can do your project and then deal with it? I know, right? So HRs need this. Why do you think HRs need this qualification part? Exactly. The company needs it for auditing. The company doesn't need you for the product building. The qualification is not for the product building, but if they don't have a proof that how did you bring this guy in, right? So it doesn't happen. So that's when my college again, I mean, I've been talking about bad mouthing about the college, you guys would think, but that's when my department said that we will ourselves craft a certificate for you with fake numbers, fake whatever, degree, CGPA. So that's when, if you look into my resume, you'll see a number called 7.8. I'm like, that's the best they could do, because it should be believable, like, right? It's like, our arrear was 9.8 CGPA vachirpom. That wouldn't be the case. So, that's how I got a job. That's how I lost my degree. And that's how I've still been surviving. Hopefully, I'll still be surviving the same, because now I took up in my mind that the education system needs to change, at least in the tech field. If it's any other field, like doctors or anything, I think qualification matters a lot, right? You can't fool them through, like NEET exam, GATE exam, whatever it is, you can't fool them through. But if it's a tech, right, all engineers here would know that your skills are way too valuable than what the marks could speak. I mean, let's be honest, college students, whatever you're learning in college, how much is it closer to whatever real-time projects that have been built? I mean, okay, college students, can you please raise your hands again? Okay, we had a lot of interaction here. Okay, over here. What do you guys do in practical labs? What's the programming language they teach you?
Python,
Java, okay. And with Python, like, do they do the data stuff like MATLAB and all those stuff? No? Okay. Basic stuff. And for 4 years, it was all basic stuff. Right? Yeah. This is exactly the problem. So they'll only teach you the basics because for the sake of teaching it, and then they will not show you how you can survive in the real market. That's what I wanted to take up. So I started taking mentorship sessions. So I was like, be it Python, be it Java, be it Kotlin, be it JavaScript, TypeScript, front end, back end, whatever it is. I thought, okay, let me do mentorship sessions. And that's how it's been going. And it's always been free because I'm like, I understand the struggle and I don't want others to go through this. So college students, like, yeah, come on, show up, I'll teach you and guide you on how to go. But I wouldn't say that this is the right way to go. I wouldn't, everybody have their own right way to go, okay? Sir, I mean, how was your CGPA? You're a BCA student, okay. And then you're an Android developer. Awesome. So you have a percentage, how was your percentile? 16. It's not like it's an amazing mark, but you're still surviving, right? But after getting into the job, has anyone ever asked about your qualification? Because you're proving them with your... They don't even know it. Exactly. About you, sir? Triple E. See, there are people who studied triple E and then they start coding, honestly. You studied triple E and then you're doing fine in which language? Or what is your product?
Yeah, product is like, on the tech stack, it is doing Spring Boot and front end.
Java, right? Java and React. Same triple E. See? So what did that? So how was the 4 years? Did the 4 years of triple E matter? You don't exactly the point. Exactly the problem that I've been trying to prove for so long. So that being said, I would like to conclude you guys with a very happy evening, with a very joyous and energetic evening, because I know it's not, because I could see a lot of sleepy faces. But hopefully, this 1 hour was sort of a reform or a sort of a mindset change or might be a motivation. But again, guys, I'm not saying that drop whatever you're doing. College students, listen carefully. Do not drop whatever you're doing just for the sake of saying that, hey, that Anna told me. Any hard questions? Please ask, please ask. No, it could be stupid questions. It all starts from stupid questions, but ask. No? Anyone?
Do you have a degree now?
I don't. That's the whole reason I'm still standing here. That's what I wanted to prove. I don't have a degree, but I still work for 6 companies. 4 to 5 companies were like contracts, internships. So there is this contract-based employment where you're offered a particular amount of stipend and you work for a particular amount of time period, right? Because they want to build their product, okay? So that's how I've been surviving. I still don't have a degree. But funny thing, October 21st, my college is again calling me for an alumni meet because yeah, story of my life. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful evening.